Okay, another special guest for you today. We have on the phone the American hero, Mr. Tim Kennedy. Thanks for joining us, facing Michael Bisping this Wednesday night at the Ultimate Fighter finale. You ready, man?
Yeah, I am definitely ready.
You've been talking a lot of trash to Michael Bisping for a while, trying to get this fight going. I mean, is this something that how long have you wanted to fight Michael Bisping?
I don't know, about 4 years since he spit on one of my friends and illegally kneed my other friend. I don't know, since then.
I guess that's a good enough reason to want to go after somebody. Now, when you do fight him on Wednesday, are you hoping for a finish? I mean, Michael Bisping can't finish a book, so we're not worried about him finishing you. But are you looking for a finish, or do you want to draw it out for 3 straight rounds?
I got 5. I got 5 rounds to put a beating to him, and no, I want to finish him. You know, I don't want him to judges this, judges that. You know, he's squeaked out some crazy, stupid decisions. Ones that he runs around like he won a fight after he just got smashed. So, I really don't want to see judges' scorecards on Wednesday night. That isn't how I'm approaching this fight. I'm there to finish him. I'm there to beat him and do so decisively.
How do you feel about some of his responses to you as far as he's saying that you're 100% beneath him? He said you were, I believe, a communist at one point and Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, I don't know. He also said the military service members should be embarrassed that I, represent them. That Americans should be embarrassed that I represent their country. I don't know, man. It's dribble from a toddler idiot.
What about the special aunt card he sent you via Twitter?
That was funny. That was legitimately funny. It's typical, as I'm walking through the lobby in the hotel here in Quebec, I'm being heckled by some of his entourage. So it's I would expect nothing less.
So are you now after this fight's over, after everything's said and done, regardless of the outcome, do you see you guys shaking hands and being cool with each other? Or do you think this is going to be an ongoing thing for a while?
Nah, no, we're not. We're not going to ever be buddies. Go down and grab a beer together. Hey, you want to come over and watch some football? We're different people in every way. What we prioritize about life, what we care about. I'm like country and family and God, and he's like none of those things. So
he'd probably be confused on which football to watch to begin with. So
Manchester United or something. I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to be shaking hands.
So how much involvement do you have in the Ranger Up parody videos? Now, I know this is the second one that I've seen Ranger Up do about Michael Bisping. Obviously, the first one was when he fought Jorge. So how much involvement do you have in those?
A lot. I enjoy getting under his skin. It's funny when he gets all riled up and fired up. So it was, from a creative standpoint, hey, let's do this or let's do that, or what do you think about this or what do you think about that? Ultimately, Nick Palmisano, CEO of Ranger Up, was the one that was orchestrating, the genius behind all the mean tweets and, the animated feature that we put out last night. It's all just awesomeness.
Now, if you, let's go ahead and, I don't want to look too far past this fight. Fighters never want to look past it, but let's just say the outcome is favorable for you on Wednesday night. Would you think that puts you in line for a title contender match?
Yeah. I don't, I'm 8, he's 5. I think a win over him obviously moves me up a bit. Beating a, kind of marquee perennial contender, is a big feather in my hat, but it's a Shark Tank, in the top 5. There's a big difference between, being like top 10 in the UFC and the top 5. There's a lot of really, really good fighters, in that top 5, 6 rankings. And I'll definitely have to have a couple more good performances before you see me fighting for a title.
Would you like to go up against Lyoto Machida as that fight got canceled, or would you rather go up against somebody who you already possibly lost to when you have like Jacare and Luke Rockhold both in the division as well?
I don't know. That's a tough decision. The fight that moves me towards the title in the most clearest line. The Vitor Belfort, if he ever, gets his steroids under control. Leonardo Machado would be an awesome fight. These are Luke Rockhold. He and I fought a close 5-round battle. When Jacare and I fought for the Strikeforce title, I thought I won that fight. 5 rounds to 1. So having another opportunity to do that would be great. But I just want to keep fighting the best guys, and seeing where that puts me.
Now, how do you feel about the recent TRT ban, basically across the board?
It's a good step in the right direction, getting rid of all performance enhancing drugs, and that's exactly what it is. It's a way to cheat. At the time, it was a legal way to cheat. Now, guys are still going to be using it just illegally. So what has to happen is, I know Dana's taken another awesome step, which is testing entire fight cards, which hasn't always been the case. But again, that's just one step. Like when you're going to get guys is when they're just moving to fight camp. That's when you're going to get positive results for performance enhancing drugs. Is during fight camp and just before. Not at the fights, not before the fight, not after the fight. You have to do it during their fight camps or just before their fight camps, or even right after fights. Not right after, like days, but like weeks. So we have a long way to go to get rid of that stuff from our sport, but at least we're taking steps in the right direction to see a change.
We just see John Jones get tested right in the middle of his fight camp. I think it was like live on the. He was there on Fox Sports 1 there during UFC Tonight. He got pulled away during an interview and got tested in the middle of his fight camp.
Yeah, I saw him tested a couple of times.
Well, that's one thing moving in the right direction. Now, as far as other policies in the UFC, Dana White recently removed a fighter due to domestic violence allegations from his military career. Do you think that even with the plea of that guy's former wife as well as himself, maybe did Dana White jump the gun, or do you think that Dana White made the right decision?
I don't know. I think a guy's responsible for the things he's done in his life, and it's no different there. That's a tough call. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions.
That's true. That's a good point. No one want to make those decisions either, man.
No.
And you're currently active, Ranger?
Yep. Well, I'm a Green Beret. I never served in Ranger Regiment.
Oh, okay. Still mind-blowing, man. Still mind-blowing that someone that a Green Beret steps in the cage and doesn't just fight for the country, but then steps in the cage and fights hand-to-hand in the UFC. Blows my mind. Speaking of fighting, though, we have one more question we got to ask you before we let you go. Custom question we like to ask all the fighters that call into the fights or to the show. Something that Dodge came up with. Go ahead, Dodge.
All right, so who would win in a fight, Tim? A bear with machine guns for hands and feet, or a pterodactyl that chainsaws?
This is a serious question because, you've been through Green Beret training, so it's entirely possible that this scenario showed up in one of your training sessions. So it's a bear that has machine guns for hands and feet versus a pterodactyl that poops chainsaws.
Standoff, bro. If you know anything about standoff, anybody with an ability to hurt an enemy from range when the enemy can't hurt them is going to win. So that's Sun Tzu stuff from back in the day. It's not easy win there for the bear.
Easy win for the bear?
Yeah, he doesn't even have to fight him. He just sits back and shoots him.
This is official coming from a Green Beret. I think
you're not pterodactyls bombing full of chainsaws, live chainsaws.
Your phone's breaking up. He's saying the pterodactyl's flying over the bear, just dropping chainsaws on him like bombs.
He only has 2 feet.
True. I think this is worth 2 votes, Dodge. This is coming from an official. This is a trained Green Beret. I think we have to put him on the board for 2 for the bear. All right, man. Well, we know we're running short on time. We really appreciate you calling in, Tim. Best of luck this Wednesday. It is the Ultimate Fighter finale going down for free, so make sure you check it out. It's on Fox Sports 1, right, Dodge?
Yes.
So check that out this Wednesday night. Tim Kennedy, the American hero, is going up against the guy from across the pond, that traitor, Michael Bisping. Good luck, man.
Thank you, guys.